After a brief hiatus, our experts have returned to the Fictional Fight Club to discuss their thoughts on Season 1 and roll out the next season of Deadliest Fictional Warrior.
Who is Deadliest? To find out, our world-class fighters are testing history's most lethal weapons. Using 21st century science, we'll see what happens when the two warriors go toe-to-toe. No rules, no safety, no mercy. It's a duel to the death to decide who is the deadliest warrior.
Hi there, I'm Bruce Octavius, along with my colleagues Clovis DeShellis and Jason Vassalone.
Sirs.
And we're here to basically wrap up the first season and kick off the next season as we gather inside the Fictional Fight Club. So guys, I think we should start off with some surprises from the last season. What were some of your surprises as we filmed the entire season throughout?
Well, one surprise is actually the second matchup, right? The Sailor Moon versus Goku.
Yeah, what was surprising about it?
Well, first of all, that Goku won, and we later found out that that Sailor Moon would have actually won the fight, but only by a slight margin. We know that it was a close match, but
well, I think if we looked up all her feats again. We looked up all her feats, and we realized if we would have put that data in, all of her feats at the end of the manga, she should have beaten Goku pretty severely, like Galaxia beat Majin Buu. But we didn't really, we were still evolving the system at that time.
Yeah, and we didn't take that into consideration. So I guess that's something to boost up the morale of Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, no, not that guy. That guy wanted to follow us to the party, and the most interesting man in the world said no. A surprise for me actually has to do with the most interesting man in the world. You know, I didn't come into the Fictional Fight Club at the start of the first season expecting Chuck Norris to lose.
Well, I was going to say the same thing. That was a big surprise.
So, I mean, it was a razor thin margin.
It was that pole cue.
The pole cue was victory margins. It was 509 to 491.
Because Chuck Norris's
The
sniper rifle. Yes, I apologize, everyone. That sniper rifle should have done the trick, but somehow.
But I guess Chuck Norris, more for
A
it.
Boken and a bear trap combination. So that was something that was really surprising to me.
Very clever, very clever.
That Chuck Norris actually lost. But I guess this dispels the internet myths about him. Anything else? I think something that surprised all of us was that Palpatine lost.
Yes,
At the last match of the season.
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, I thought technology was going to have the upper hand, but I guess Middle Earth has a few things up their sleeves. Its sleeve.
We all thought that Palpatine had it in the bag with the lightsaber and the Force Storm. Turns out it was the long, and he won at those ranges, but it was the long-range weapons. Gandalf just had the advantage at medium range and a slight advantage at long range.
Well, I guess the Force isn't strong as we think it is.
Guess not. I guess the Force is stronger with Gandalf than it is with Palpatine.
May the light be with you.
Anything else that surprised us as we...
Not really. Not that I can think of at the moment.
I guess we'll get into it as we go on, but I suppose we should start off with the first award. And
Yes. What is the first award again?
Who wants to announce it? It's right up there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The first award was for favorite commercial, and we each had our own choices. I guess Ralph's pick was the Chia Pet.
Yeah.
Or should I say Clovis's pick?
Chia.
Why the Chia Pet?
It's a catchy tune. It's a catchy commercial.
Retro.
Retro, and I had a Chia Garfield, so it brought some connection.
And yours was, I think we both had the same, we both had Rabbi Joe as our
Yes.
favorite.
Well, if you've seen the outtakes, which I'm sure you have, you'll understand why.
It took us a long time to actually do that commercial.
Yes.
It was so funny, we just couldn't stop ourselves
There
from
were a
laughing.
lot of outtakes.
Like he was but you can't Rabbi Joe.
Yes.
It was really, these are the things that we think up of as we, so that was both of our favorites, and his was the Chia Pet. But the winner for favorite commercial, it was actually a three-way tie, so we had to use our expert opinion to divvy it up. And we decided that of those three, because it was 23% Justin Bieber got shot by CSI, 23% Ping Pong, the Sport of Drunks, and 23% Legends of the Hidden Temple. And we chose Legends of the Hidden Temple. And why did you guys decide to go for that one?
I don't know. I didn't. I just left up to you guys to tell you the truth.
Retro, it's I used to watch a summer show, and it just brought back some good memories.
It brought back some memories for me too. I remember I used to watch that show when I was a kid, and I loved that show. And me and my best friend, we would always go into the hallway of my apartment building, pretend we were in the temple, and we were running from the temple guards. And I even had my mom make those pendants. So we ran around with those pendants that my mom made and pretend that the temple guards were coming to...
Also, there used to be a game similar to Legends of the Hidden Temple. It was a fantastic game. I forgot the name, but...
That's a shame. So Legends of the Hidden Temple is the winner for favorite commercial, with 23% of the vote plus our opinions. And what did you guys think of the commercials?
I thought they were pretty cool, especially the ones we made, since I think that shows our creativity. So.
And it saves a lot of time with browsing through the internet, figuring out which clip we could use and which clip are not copyrighted. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
So that was the favorite commercial. And should we just get right into the next award, or should we just talk about something else that came up that we thought was memorable in the season, or what should we do?
Well, I think most people are here to watch this.
They've been waiting a long time for the awards.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get right into the next award.
Coolest weapon.
And our picks were, his was the lightsaber.
Of course, I think it's still cool, no matter what.
But why was it the coolest? Because we saw a lot of cool shit.
Well, hey, that we grew up on Star Wars, and that lightsaber. Come on.
Tears through anything in its
Exactly.
path.
I think mine was the Dagger of Time, if I can recall
Yes, it
correctly.
was.
Yes.
And why is it a favorite? Well, because it's such a kick-ass weapon. Turns anyone into sand by a simple stab.
And that's why Link got his ass kicked when he fought the Prince of Persia, because of that Dagger of Time.
Exactly.
And I remember I had some egg on my face because I thought Link was going to win. But I guess you knew the Dagger of Time and I didn't.
Yeah, and I knew Dark Prince.
That was surprising to me too. I really thought that the fairy bow would give Link the win in that match.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising, but I guess acrobacy wins. Acrobatic, exact. Thank you, Bruce. Had the upper hand. It's a useful skill.
Acrobatics and the Dagger of Time, though. That was his coolest weapon. My coolest weapon was the Snap of Death. And how could anyone not think that was cool? Snap your finger and point and blow up the planet? I mean, come on.
But is that really a weapon?
Of course, look, snap, finger point, blow up the planet on you. Who could possibly think that's not cool? As we stood by that glass wall over there.
Which is still standing.
Which is still standing.
Somehow.
With Roman cement, that's our secret.
I mean, anyway, who wants to announce this award? The coolest weapon. Those were our picks, but the coolest weapon.
The coolest weapon was the Dagger of Time,
No, it wasn't.
right?
No, it was
Oh.
Goku's Spirit Bomb.
With 28% of the vote.
Sorry, everybody, we're at some distance because we need to film us three, so...
It's an ad hoc solution. With the Spirit Bomb, I remember, we were testing it inside because we couldn't be out there because it was so dangerous. And it actually didn't do that well in the simulation, though. I think Sailor Moon beat it. The Silver Crystal beat it by a 2-1 margin.
I don't know, well, if anybody out there knows the reason why, be sure to let us know, because we're still probably trying to figure it out, so...
Well, it was because of the slow charge time, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Remember after that test? Goku used the Spirit Bomb. It took a long time to charge. Sailor Moon just pointed the Silver Crystal and basically delivered the same impact. And that's why it didn't do that well in the simulation. Not that it made a difference in the end, because Goku still won. But I really think it was... I guess there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans that come on to Deadliest Fictional Warrior.
I guess so.
Let's respond to some comments right now. I guess let's look at some comments on the show and respond to them before we get into the next
Alright.
award. Want to do that, guys?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
As we pull up Safari, because we're on a computer, and... Wait, what computer? This is real life and it's happening right now.
Well, not exactly live, but free live.
See, this is where the fourth wall breaks, guys. Whoa. Why am I signed in my account?
Because you sign with your account on Google.
I know, I hate that, don't I? Don't we?
It's sometimes useful, but
It's annoying too.
yeah. So here's our little thoughts on the Google and YouTube.
It sucks. Well, YouTube's cool. Since we're on here, we have the...
Well, it's cool for now, but
Yeah.
Well,
But we have to be nice, otherwise they'll probably can us.
it's not as cool as it was before Google bought it. Oops, wait a minute. That time doesn't exist.
But we have to be
Because-
nice, otherwise they might can us, so let's
yeah,
be nice.
before YouTube just becomes tube.com.
So which episode do you think we should look at to respond to some comments?
Well, let's go not chronological order, but by the ones. The
I mean, we
most
can't
recent
do
one.
all of them. Okay, we'll respond to some of them. Okay, the Confederate 666 says on Gandalf versus Palpatine, he says, great show even if I disagree with the outcome of the fight. Well, we all disagree with the outcome of the fight too.
Yeah,
Confederate.
exactly.
So you're not alone.
Because we've had times where we thought someone was going to win and then it turned out the opposite.
Case in point, Chuck Norris, Link,
And Palpatine.
Chuck Norris and Palpatine, so...
That was a kind of a disastrous way to end the season. All of us were wrong.
Yes.
I think that was the first time we ever agreed, all of us, on one prediction, and all of us were wrong.
Except Clovis's wise father.
Yeah, Clovis's wise father
Yeah.
said that Gandalf was going to win, and he won.
He won $100, so...
The Squirrel Master says on this, your videos are awesome, thank you very much. But you guys should do Ichigo from Bleach and Vegeta or someone from Dragon Ball Z. And we responded that we did do some Dragon Ball Z in episodes 2 and 7.
And we might have one in the future, right?
Probably in the future
We'll
have
see.
someone from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if you guys know who Ichigo is.
I don't. I was never into...
I was never into it either, but it's apparent he's the main character from a popular current manga called Bleach, and he has a lot of fans. But apparently the manga...
Vaguely.
But apparently, according to some forums that I go on, that manga really sucks big time, so... I doubt you're going to see Ichigo on the show, unless we get a lot of requests for him.
So if you want him, now's the time to vote.
Well, yeah, always remember to keep it in mind, even though our
But it won't be for season 2 because season 2 the lineup has been chosen already and it's set in concrete. So if you want Bleach, it will have to be for the 3rd season.
So keep it in mind. Remember to follow the rules as you make a request, and we might consider it. But we'll have to. If someone voted for the awards, we can't do that. Okay, let's take a look at another part. Which episode do you guys want to examine?
Reply.
Let's see.
About Solar Moon and Solar Galaxy and Majin Buu.
Okay, that's episode 7. And there's a lot of disagreements with the outcome because Dragon Ball Z fans are they can be so overzealous. Don't get me wrong, guys, I love Dragon Ball Z. I've been a fan for 10 years now, over 10 years.
Seriously, he is.
But there's a lot of stuff that can beat it. And I'm not going to let my personal favoritism get in the way of science, because we're scientists around here.
Well, I don't know. Well,
We're scientists.
Yes.
No, we're not.
4 long years of school, darn it. We're scientists.
We're college graduates right here. We're
except me.
scientists. I thought, yeah, whatever.
I'm stuck, so.
Okay, who wants to read some comments from this one?
Alright, Hammond Lord says, great fight, I must say, even though I was rooting for you, no, who hope that didn't spoil it.
Well, a lot of people were rooting for Boo, but
I don't know.
it is what it is. We were rooting for for Palpatine.
And I'm gonna miss having the free vending machine. But
That was cool, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
that was awesome.
Did anyone have side effects after that?
No,
Oh.
I just took a shit like any other shit. I think they're gonna be dead anyway.
Taste of human.
Tastes like human.
Alright, next comment.
Someone moved. Let's not get into any technical discussions.
Yes, we know some of our, we're on low budget right now, so unless you can help us get funding, this is...
Invest in us.
Yes, this is as good as you're going to get from us.
I mean, because we know Dragon Ball Z fans are going to argue for their favorite characters, and
Should we just move on to another video?
let's see if there's any other comments. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
I love that episode. That was a really cool episode because we had the planets being destroyed in that episode. And
Well, do you want to take one pick, Jason? Because me and Bruce already did. So
Let's look at the bloopers. Let's see if do we
see if there's any comments on it. I don't think there's a lot.
No.
Oh,
Just the one guy who did respond to our
garlic
season.
pudding. He's been
Yeah.
a long time fan, so let's respond to his comment. We hope you have enjoyed. I don't think that wasn't intentional though. That was because his camera was it happened to be at the very moment he said "fuck," the camera made the noise and took the picture.
Yes, I apologize.
So it wasn't really intentional, but it sounds like we were trying to censor something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I apologize. I can't figure out how to stop that. So,
but it did make a funny clip.
yeah. You gotta admit. So, thank you to my iPod.
And thanks Garlic Pudding because he's been with us a long time. So I think we'll look at some more comments in a bit, but let's
Okay, should we
get
just
to
move
another
on?
award.
Let's get back on track.
Well, it's not back on track.
I
It's,
think we're up to favorite episode.
yeah, and whose picks? My pick for favorite episode was... My favorite episode was Gandalf and Palpatine. I really thought everything came together well in that episode. It had good quality, had a good final fight, had cool tests with the lightsaber and the Force Storm and the Light of the Valor and the Destructive Blast. So I thought there were some pretty cool weapons, and that's my favorite episode.
Well, my favorite episode was the Chuck Norris versus Most Interesting Man in the World. So, well, I mean, that was our first episode. Probably wasn't a total best, but I have to put it up there because, what can we say? It's Chuck Norris.
It's two badasses.
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably no one ever thought of doing that. So, in a way, that was very new. So,
And it's the first ever.
Yeah.
And say there'll never be another one. And Ross and Clovis's pick, because we're kind of out of character.
Who's Ralph?
Who's Ralph? He doesn't exist. It's Clovis.
He's his imaginary friend.
My imaginary friend Ralph and Joe. My favorite episode, guys, was Gandalf versus Palpatine. Again, yeah, I know, right? Quite. Thanks for being repetitive, Clovis.
Not Clovis.
I'm talking to myself now. And the reason why is simply because it was the most shocking episode. It was really fun to shoot. It was really fun for the fight. The fight was really fun, and the outcome was just a shock. So that's why. And we had one of the best commercials ever, and the best bloopers. Bouncing Jordan was the favorite.
Who's Jordan? He doesn't exist.
Bouncing Bruce.
Okay, but your favorite episode with 46% of the vote was Solid Snake versus John Rambo.
Well, it was a cool episode, I'll have to admit. I mean, can anybody really fuck with John Rambo? But
Snake.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Medusa, I mean, that was awesome. When he took that Medusa and just mowed down all those guys, that was insane. And even though he didn't win,
Hey, John Rambo's still a badass.
and Snake, remember, with the M4, that was amazing too. Let's get right back into it. I'll announce this one. And the best Raid episode, and my pick was, again, Gandalf versus Palpatine. I think everything came together well. Everything was in order. There was no real mistakes in that episode. It just came out very smooth and was a very well-made episode.
My favorite made episode was Gandalf versus Palpatine. Well, it was a cool episode, I mean, for the most part, it was. I don't know what else to say about it.
Guess the same reasons as me.
Yeah.
And his?
My favorite best made episode was The Prince of Persia versus Link.
And why?
Now why? I guess because it was the right combination of two characters of video games. Sorry for this pick, I just really couldn't make a solid decision. There were too many favorite best made episodes of mine, so.
I think that actually, it came out that the first part of that episode on our YouTube channel, the audio was out of sync for some reason, and I tried to fix it, but it wouldn't work. So I think that has to be technically the worst, in my opinion, because of the audio error. I don't know why. On my computer, it's fine. So
I apologize for this pick. Clovis was stressed during when he made his final decision, so it was clouded.
So let's respond to some more comments on our YouTube. Which episode do you want to respond to, guys?
Let's see.
How about the first one?
Sorry, everybody. We're just going through videos.
We can't respond to all of them.
Let's start with the first episode.
first episode.
We could probably do it, but it would take forever, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to read off of this one, guys?
Would you go first and I'll do it?
Should we do the fourth comment?
Oh, here's one. Fall Fiction, and it was made 4 months ago, and it says, can't you do these analysis without ripping off the actual Deadliest Warrior show? I'm saying this so you don't become like what is that?
Irate Gamer.
Irate Gamer is to the AVGN.
Well, this is a parody after all.
Exactly.
So we have to rip off the actual show, or else it's not parody.
Exactly. And, it's not like we're taking everything from this show. We're doing our own spin on it. So the only thing I can say is if you don't like it, go to another video. That's all.
So, you mad? And why so serious?
You're going to cry?
You're forgetting the most interesting man in the world's enemies are on his call and are on his emergency call list. He is on. You mean they're on his? Wait, I'm trying to think of the commercial again. His enemies list him as their emergency contact number. That's because he's a badass.
We can't do everything each character has. We just go through whatever we can for what weapon.
We go by feats here.
Exactly. We can't do everything. It probably take a long time.
How about the Battle of the Bonds? Let's respond to this
Yes.
one. Mostly it's just been match suggestions in this one. Oh, Garlic Pudding, one of our longtime fans. What's more badass than shooting someone in the eye with a nail gun? Doing that while holding said nail gun gangsta style.
Well, there is something more badass than that, and that's going to come up and following episodes, but
Yeah.
You'll just have to stay tuned and watch.
But what's more badass than that, in my opinion, is snapping your finger and destroying a planet. That is badass.
that's like getting a nail gun to the head, to the billion. Yeah, the damage would be,
No, I don't think you can really even compare.
yeah, it's,
Okay, any more comments we should look at here
well,
in this one? And then we'll get back to the rewards.
There was
It's mostly been fight requests.
I'm not complaining. I was a fan of 70s James Bond, Roger Moore. What the hell? Exactly who will put Roger Moore? He sucks.
I like Roger Moore. I think he's good.
Connery.
I never,
Connery's better, but what?
I never really watched James Bond movies.
That's because you're old lame ass. And I took you to the first James Bond movie you ever saw, which was Casino Royale. Which was a good movie, but
It was a good movie.
But it's not the best Bond movie for sure. The best Bond movie is either, in my opinion, it's either From Russia with Love or Goldfinger. And if you haven't seen one of those, then you haven't seen James Bond.
Evergreen made it worthwhile.
What?
Evergreen made it worthwhile.
I don't even know what you mean.
Never mind.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Let's get right back into the awards.
Yes, since I know everyone's been waiting a long time to find out
Who's
who won.
next? Best matchup. And so this is basically your favorite matchup on paper. My one was Sean Connery, James Bond versus Daniel Craig, James Bond. And how could that not be intriguing?
I'm the exact same one, so, putting Bonds versus Bonds together.
And he's the one who recruited the two of them to come onto the show.
Yes,
so.
it was my idea, so if you liked it, thank you very much. If you hate it, screw you.
My favorite was my best matchup, Gandalf versus Palpatine, because it was such a climatic matchup. It was the Dark Force versus the Good Force, just head to head.
And two very well adapted, basically mages in the arcane arts with years and years of experience going right at it. So I can understand that. It was an intriguing way to end the season. But your best matchup, with 35% of the vote, is Solid Snake versus John Rambo. And I mean, I thought it was a good match. It's basically two super soldiers going head to head. You got a Green Beret and you got someone that's basically genetically engineered to be the best soldier. And Snake gave him quite an ass kicking though. It was 579 to 421 was the final result.
I don't remember. So much has gone by, so...
Yeah, all I see is numbers floating around.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're the simulations guy.
You're the next, a beautiful mind.
Exactly.
But it was a cool matchup. It was a cool episode.
Alright, next episode, best fight. I'll go first.
Okay.
I chose Sean Connery, James Bond versus Daniel Craig, James Bond. You know, like I said, same with what you said for the matchup. You know, it was just cool to see them go head to head.
And came out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not the... I think my favorite part of that fight, though, was when Sean Connery took the cigarette rocket, right? Remember that cigarette rocket that he had? And he took the cigarette rocket, and Daniel Craig jumped off the building, rolled around. Sean Connery tried to snipe him. Daniel Craig ambushes him, and eventually he pulls. The ending was cool too. He pulls his pants, and he puts the exploding keychain and detonates
So
it.
that's what happened. I couldn't figure out how the keychain got into on Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it was in their tussle at the end. And
Okay.
what's your favorite? What's your pick for best fight?
My best fight was Leonidas versus Legolas. Why? Because I'm a fan of Legolas. I think his fighting skills are awesome, and Leonidas' fighting skills are awesome too. So seeing the two fight each other was quite interesting. And since Legolas can shoot more than one arrow at a time, I guess that caught Leonidas off guard.
And the mithril arrows, remember that?
Oh yes.
Goes through 2 bodies, 3 bodies, armor, shields, as we saw Leonidas's.
And for some reason, somehow, Legolas managed to shoot 100 arrows at the end, and that kills Leonidas.
Unfortunately, though, with that fight, we were going to use the theme song Fever Dream from the 300 soundtrack, but Warner Music Group is a bunch of cock-sucking fuckheads, so they had to... I couldn't put it through, it wouldn't go through, so we had to use a Paper Mario song, and that made the fight worse.
I think it was pretty... it had this kind of Persian, sort of Middle Eastern theme to it, so since Leonidas was fighting the Persians in that battle, it fit the context. So I thought it was, after a while, after a long period of thinking, I realized that the music was actually quite good.
Well, my favorite fight of the season was Sailor Moon versus Goku, and everything in that fight just came out completely linked together, and everything made sense. It just looked like they were really going at it. It took a long time. The music was fantastic. I don't think any other fight topped it, in my opinion, in intensity and in style. So that was my favorite fight. But your favorite fight was, who's going to announce it? You haven't announced anything yet, so you're going to announce who won the best
Alright,
fight.
the best matchup, you
The
mean?
best fight.
Let's see which. And okay, the best fight. You have voted in accord with Brucey, and it's
No, it's actually...
Wait. Oh,
Solid
sorry.
Snake versus John Rambo.
Solid Snake versus John Rainbow. Why
With
didn't you
35
list it in order
35% of the vote. Solid Snake versus John Ramos is really taking a lot of the awards in this. So I guess that matchup came out pretty good to people. It was a good fight too. There was another fight that WMG cocksucking faggots had to censor. But, I mean, I liked it.
You know, maybe this can help revive Stallone's career.
Getting killed by Snake.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, the most humorous moment of the season.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
Alright, my most humorous was Bouncing Bruce.
That all was so much fun.
And there was actually, I think, an original outtake that did not make the cut, but that was the most hilarious moment of the show.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say Rabbi Joe outtakes. You know what? Just watch him. You'll probably see the point. I mean,
Unfortunately, you couldn't really be there when we were doing
Exactly.
it, which made it a lot more funny.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually took my most humorous moment of the season as well, because it was just like I think we had to do like 17 takes to get it right.
Yes.
yes. I don't know. There are probably some footage we've not posted. So
We just couldn't stop ourselves from laughing
Exactly.
because it was so hilarious. But the winner of the most humorous moment of the season,
Is actually the finger snap
of fucking Armageddon.
with 46% of the vote. And come on, man, Galaxia went, when we were at that blast wall over there, and Galaxia snapped her finger and blew up that planet. It was something I never expected. It was, like, who could possibly believe that someone could snap their finger and a planet would go boom? So,
Before we move on, I just want to say the Constipated came in second place. I just want to say I'm the one who came up with that, and I'm just surprised it made it on the list. So thank you guys for those who voted for it.
23% of the vote.
Yeah. So
From the filmmakers that brought you The Departed.
yeah, exactly. I don't know why it just came up in my mind, and you know what? The fact it made it on the list, I'm happy. So we can move on.
Let's respond to some more comments, and then we'll move on to the last few awards. Which comment should we receive? How about Prince of Persia versus...
Wait. Yeah, let's see. About the fight. Or is...
Not many comments on this one. So let's do Solid Snake versus John Rambo, since everyone seems to like it so much.
Although there's only 7 comments.
Call of Duty Forever says, disagree, but good once again. Thank you.
Oh, that's one of my friends. So he's a cool guy. So I won't really go.
Not many comments to respond to here.
It's popular. So
It's popular, but for some reason there's not a lot of comments. Let's look at part
Can you
1.
hear the cricket chirp?
I apologize everyone. I'm sick today. so-
Orgasmic Pancakes. That's a cool name. Says, Rambo is way better. He takes on 100+ guys all at once. Expert in guerrilla warfare and espionage. Snake is programmed to just sneak around and take one guy on at a time.
He sucks
He
dick.
sucks dick.
Wow.
Wow.
According to our calculation, it's the other way around.
I don't know, you might not have played all the Metal Gear series and know the story, but Snake is basically genetically programmed to be the best soldier in the world. And he sneaks around, he's an expert at espionage too, and Snake takes on Metal Gears, which are big-ass walking tanks that
Metal
can-
Gear Solid.
Well, that's just the name. The Metal Gear is actually the walking mech, and Snake kills those, and he does impossible missions. Rambo does as well, but I think Snake...
But he's a human.
But
So
I know someone who would agree with the results.
Who?
You know, Emir.
We haven't seen him in years.
yeah. Well, we have a friend who's a very big into games. So maybe we'll try and get him on the show. So that's
Yeah, you should have been here during the shooting. But anyway, we digressed.
Anyway, I think both of them are really great soldiers in their own right, but Snake just won. He was able to shoot Rambo first, and that's bottom line.
Oh yeah, garlic pudding. A long time subscriber said, "Does Clovis have a scarf around his waist?" Yeah, I know it looks like a scarf, but actually it's a sash. It's called Assumption sash, or fish, ceinture fléchée, loosely translated to arrowed belt.
Actually, I just
So it's a pretty warm belt that people used to wear back in the 200 years ago to keep warm, to keep their pants up, and
I just make
nothing else to say.
I just want to make a comment. I saw a while back someone made a comment about you wearing a Yankee shirt and saying New York and some shit like that. Yes, we are from New York. Yes, well, definitely two of us are Yankee fans. So if you don't like it, there.
The Yankees have been on a losing.
Boston.
The Yankees have been on a losing streak recently. Okay, let's get right back into the awards.
By the way, he sucks. So he's not really a Red Sox fan.
No, he just did it because he likes to annoy all the Yankee fans in
Exactly.
his social circle.
Yeah, that was nothing to do during the 2004 NHL lockout. So being a Boston fan, you couldn't.
I think you would want to announce this one. Holy shit moment of the
Yes.
season. Let's see. You go first. Your
Who,
pick of the
me?
holy shit moment of the season.
Well, I chose the Daniel Craig versus Sean Connery, James Bond, because, well,
You made the prediction that Daniel Craig would win, and you were right.
yeah, I'll admit, the only reason I chose it was because I didn't have an idea, I didn't know which one, so I just picked one, so, yeah, I've been busy this past time and had some problems, so I had to just choose one. I didn't really have time to think about it, so.
So you think Sean Connery is more badass? That's why.
Yes. Well, most people prefer Sean Connery over.
I do, but Daniel Craig is good too.
And my holy shit moment was the Pope cute spear.
As was mine.
Why? It's totally unexpected. It's surprising me that a simple poke you could do so much damage.
When you threw it like that and just took that guy down.
I wouldn't want to be in the same bar when the most interesting man in the world is
drunk.
angry.
Always drunk.
I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him in the bar. Or
He never gets angry. Ever, because he's got too much in life to get angry.
And the winner, with 28%, Chuck Norris's sniper
I
rifle.
think that was the other one that was so shocking.
Yeah, that was actually my second choice, so I'll give it. It was really cool. Him just
When we found that
piece of
footage, it was it was very.
I should add, we had to declassify it, so, because it was locked away in the vaults, and we had to, spend a lot. How much?
No, we actually we got Snake to steal it for us, or we got Galaxia to go ahead and just snap at it.
Hopefully we won't get tracked by the government and sued.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, favorite warrior.
Favorite warrior.
You want to announce it, or?
Yeah, I guess I'll do
And
it.
whose pick was?
Well, I have something in mind, so I'll start.
Well, my favorite warrior was the most interesting man in the world, and who couldn't like the most? I mean, I didn't think he was gonna win, but after he did, it's just like he's so awesome, and like he's the guy you want to be around. He's the guy.
Indeed.
Your social circle game is gonna go way up if you got him in. You're a friend of the most interesting man in the world, you'll instantly have status.
How about you?
You go.
Alright, mine was also the most interesting man in the world. Why? Well, he's the most interesting man in the world. So, and you don't vote for him. The vote votes
Goes
him.
to him.
The ballot box actually voted for him, so that's why he ended up on my list.
Well, I chose Chuck Norris because he's, one of America's most badass, so I had to go with him. So
He's been a bit demystified, but he's still cool.
yeah.
But the fans chose...
Oh, sorry, yeah. It was the most interesting man in the world.
The ballot box
The
automatically.
ballot box voted for it.
So, the most interesting man in the world is the favorite warrior. Now, before we get into the two penultimate awards, let's talk about the upcoming season. What are some of the things that you guys are looking forward to in this upcoming season?
What do you think?
Well, I have 2 episodes I'm most looking forward
Well,
to.
don't reveal it, but just say don't reveal the matchup, but say just what you're looking forward to seeing.
Oh boy, it's hard for me to say without giving it away. So
Army versus Marines.
yes, so definitely, and a spy versus
Reason.
I can't say. You said not to give it away, so you'll just have to see. So
An old-time classic matchup.
Well, this is we're going to give away.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the first episode. We
We're
said we're
revealing-
going to reveal it on the first episode.
Okay, yes. You've been waiting to know who are the first 2 warriors of season 2, and it's
Go.
Clint Eastwood versus
John Wayne.
And this is going to be a great way to start off the season.
Indeed, I've been looking forward for this match for a long time.
You talked about it in the winter, and you said, let's do it.
Indeed.
And you called them up, and you brought them into the Fight Club, and they're right here in the Fight Club right now. They're getting ready.
Exactly.
So you better hurry up. But
One thing, isn't John Wayne actually dead? Or
no, he's not dead.
oh,
This is fiction.
Leonidas
that's right.
How about Leonidas?
Yeah, he's long since been dead.
Anything else you guys are looking forward to? This?
Better, crazier commercials. I guess we're gonna get very creative
Yes.
on this one.
Yes, we're still in the process of working on that. So.
And we now have a expanded team, so it's gonna be a lot easier on our part to have the show hold together.
Here's a shout out to all you research team members, and you guys know who you are. So
Thank you very much, and welcome to the group. Welcome to the Deadliest Fictional Warrior Club.
And anything else? One thing I'm really looking forward to, one person I'm really looking forward to seeing in action is Lena Inverse from Slayers. And this girl just has the cannons to...
I thought we were not going to reveal anything.
well, they know she's in. We're not going to reveal the episode. Who's this spy you're looking forward to? You can reveal the character.
All right, it's Austin Powers.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The Man of Mystery.
It's International Man of Mystery.
Do you think if he who would get more girls between him and the most interesting man in the world?
Well, you know.
And James Bond, who would get more girls between
Oof.
4 of them?
I think Austin Powers by a slight margin.
Well,
Because in James Bond, girls don't run after James, and Austin Powers just have to show up.
That's true.
And girls run after him.
well,
And masses.
Well, the most interesting man in the world has sort of a following.
Well,
so-
he has 4 girls.
Every episode.
But it can still continue to grow.
But by direct feats, I guess Austin Powers wins.
Yes.
Even though he has bad teeth.
It was the 60s.
Yes, anything was possible back then.
But-
Sexual revolution.
But Lena Inverse is just has so much firepower that it's going to be really something to see. Also, what I'm looking forward to is a guy by the name of Dark Schneider in a fight. And this guy, let me just put it this way. You guys saw Planet Busting with Galaxia and Majin Buu, right? You haven't seen anything yet.
He's been talking about it forever, so.
Yes.
Get ready for some explosive shit.
The one thing I do want to say for the one I definitely look forward to most often is this is going to be Army versus Marines. There's going to be no bias. I'm putting it out the door and I'm leaving it out there, so.
Because that's the way of science.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's reveal deadliest weapon in the simulation. Who wants to
I guess I'm
rock, paper, scissors for it?
I'm the simulation coordinator.
All right, he is.
True.
So this is my time to shine. And the deadliest weapon was Blossom Laser Eyes with 304 kills. And that was actually a big surprise because,
We gave Dexter the advantage
yeah,
with his longer range laser that produced a big explosion but barely did anything.
so I guess although our fellow scientist could not invent a better weapon.
I guess it was because Blossom was mobile and he was stationary.
Yeah.
That was that. She avoided his shot. And
And that leads into the deadliest fictional warrior this season.
the
And
winner, the winner is 1, 2, 3,
Blossom!
with 592 kills, the winner of season 1.
Who knew such a cuddly little girl could be so deadly?
If looks can kill.
Who knew Sailor Moon could be so deadly?
Exactly.
By the way, have you heard from her and if she's still with Goku?
I have no idea. I don't know. We'll see.
I guess you lose power as you grow up.
What?
You lose power with the age.
What are you talking?
Kindergarten girl,
Yeah.
and she's the deadliest warrior of the season.
So, looks can be deceiving.
Indeed.
Indeed, she didn't have the most powerful weapons of the season at all. I guess it was just she had so much going for her in that fight against that particular opponent that just allowed her to carry the day. So,
Well, that's
I guess
the
that's
wrap
it.
up. That's it.
that's the end of this first season. Thanks for staying with us.
Yes.
And
And being fans, hopefully we won't disappoint you in this season. So,
it's going to be bigger, badder, bloodier, and more explosive.
well, definitely we have more people helping us, so
Yeah.
we can.
Like I said, planet busting,
More kaboom.
you haven't seen anything yet.
It's just the beginning.
And that's the end. And get ready for Clint Eastwood versus John Wayne taking on their roles as Blondie and Rooster Cogburns. They're in the studio now, so we better get our asses in gear.
So see you for season 2.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
See ya.